So guys, this next session, creating what? Simple app screens. So we're starting with three screens. Now I'm going to name this accordingly. I'm going to name this splash screen, right? So it is best practice that you always label your screens. I see a lot of designs and people are just leaving all of this. You don't know which screen is which. Best practice, label your screen. Splash screen, login screen, and what? Sign up screen. Cool. So for the splash screen, we simply want to do this. Go to your component, pick your logo, come here, drop it. Now we might want to scale it down. Now see here, align horizontal centers, right? And align what? Vertical centers. That means horizontally, this logo is in the center. Vertically, this logo is what? In the center. Makes your work look aligned. What I like to do, I like to pick my color picker and change the background. Now what I've done is pretty simple. I've created a splash screen. Splash screen is significant in any product design or app design, right? Because simply shows a kind of branding, before you start using the actual product. The same sample or the same logic you have when you put on your TV. Most Samsung TVs, when you put it on, press the on remote, right, button, you get a Samsung displayed for some seconds before it takes you to your normal TV interface. So now that we're done with the splash screen, let's create our login screen. What do we need for login? We need some components for our login. We need buttons. In most cases, we might need links and text fields. Let's start creating our text field with our best practice. Start typing email, or in this case, enter email, right? Add auto layout. Now, some of us may ask, what is the best height? What is the best practice for this? I'm going to show you. Do here 20 by standard, right? Do here 15. Now that you've created your auto layout, you can now stretch. But if you are finding it difficult to know where you are, come here and create a stroke. Now, come here and make sure the width, you have a standard width. Now, for us here, we'll be using 335 most times, or 325. Now, center it, right? You can duplicate this or create a new one. So, Control D and say what? Enter password. Now, we want to also add, for this style we're using, we want to add a placeholder and also a text field label. So I'm going to come here, start typing and say what? Email. Start typing, say what? Password. Now, we want to create what button. Still the same process. This button will be called what? Login. Add auto layout. You can still maintain the same height we've done here and width by giving this 15. Now, add a border, a stroke, right? And now stretch this toward to maintain consistency with our text field towards 325, 325. Now, in this case, you will find out that it resembles our text field. So, by design principle, this should not be so. What you can do is this: click on it, come here, and say align center, right? Now, there must be distinction between your button and your text field. In this case, we're going to invert it. So, I'm going to say the text is white and the field is black. So, what we've done, we've created a more realistic wireframe for our login screen. Now, this is not done. For best practice, let's add all of this to auto layout. Now, this is an entity, right? Meaning you can drag it on its own because you use auto layout. Highlight these two fields or these two elements, the text field and the label, and add them towards auto layout. Usually, I like my design to be what? Progressive or fives. So I put five. I add these two to make them one element. Add auto layout. I like it with progressive of five. So that means that they are now one entity. You can now drag independently. For best practice, you might have what we call a remember me feature. So you might have this as what? 18. Add the stroke. Start typing and say what? Remember me. What I want to do now is to add these two as what? Auto layer. Put it in the center. 10 is good. I like progressive of 5. Either 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Typical element again for this section is what? Forgot password. Now, this could be aligned any way you deem fit as a designer. Forgot password. Put it to the left of. Remember me. To make this standard, I like to do this. Add them again to auto layout and center it. Right? Our screen is coming to life. Now, for the best UX, you have to label this screen. I mean, I can see email, password, remember me, forgot password, login button, but I don't know what screen this is. There is no space for assumption with product design. You have to label it and say what? Login. Now, you can now pick a text, font, or a width or a size for hierarchy. Now, I want this to be semi bold or bold, and I want to add probably H5 or H4, which is can now come here. So if you look closely, you see a red line, please. This red line is a unique, significant feature in Figma or most design software to guide us. It creates a kind of rule. It means that it aligns your work and shows the red line so that we won't have things flying around. This is not good. This is good. Or this is better. Typically, we've created our first screen, login screen. A very simple process and unique, right? Let's move over to the sign up screen.